Wow, I want all of you guys to stay on here if you can. Please share this. This is going to be a very, very important live. I want to make sure that you can hear me. Let me just wave your hand at me just to make sure that it's going through. There is so much happening right now. And I want to start by saying this. I've been working on a book on spiritual warfare since the beginning of the year. And I had no clue that I would literally be writing it in real time as I'm living it. In middle of this crazy spiritual war that so many of us are living in right now in 2025, but also me personally, my family. This is crazy. First, I want to start out by sharing. We had a horrific tragedy that happened last night. We have a dear brother, a dear friend, a dear pastor, a dear leader in the Burn movement. Pastor Sam from Vijayawada in India. He's been with us for so many years, and he's been such a faithful leader. I don't know, those of you that are familiar with the different movements that we have going on. We have Burn 24/7, which is kind of the oldest movement. It's at worshipers and intercessors in cities all over the world. And we have Light a Candle, which is the missions org. And then we have Let Us Worship, which is kind of our revival movement here in the U.S. But the Burn is the longest going, and we have had... India is one of our strongest nations right now. I would say probably the Burn India is probably one of the leading forces in the nation right now in terms of prayer and worship. And Pastor Sam was one of our long-standing leaders. I mean, he just was with us for a long time, and he went to be with Jesus last night. Horribly sudden, tragic event. It was actually right in the middle of a worship school. They host a worship school every year. We call the worshipers together and they teach them. This year I wasn't able to go, but we had a lot of people that were there. And in the middle of the worship school, with 3 days left, he passed away. And it was tragic. It was sudden. And this morning, actually, in India, his wife led worship. I mean, it's unbelievable. They were sending me the videos, and it just makes me weep. Like, she's sitting there. She just lost her husband, the leader of the movement, the leader of the worship school, and she's sitting there leading worship, leading a whole room full of hungry, on fire Indians into the presence of God in the midst of loss. And so please pray for them. Pray for our leaders over there. Pratap, he's just, I poured my guts. In fact, this Pastor Sam, I was with him, I think just last year, and he told me, he said, Sean, what you're doing going to the capitals, we want to do that in India. We want to bring worship to all of these capitals. You got to think, India has the most unreached people groups of any nation on earth. And so this guy was a force, and last night he slipped away into eternity in his sleep. And so I just want to honor him. This whole week, we're going to be just focusing on his legacy and all that he built in India. We believe God's going to exponentially increase it around the world. But there's a lot going on, but that's something that just is first. I just wanted to share with you guys is really heavy on my heart today. So pray for his family, pray for the crew in Vijayawada, India, and the worship school that's still going on right now. In the midst of that. And we just love his family. We love his legacy. He was one of the biggest encouragers to us in our child sponsorship program. He was one of the guys that really help us. We celebrated 7 years now. We've rescued almost 1,300 children from the clutches of the sex trafficking and child labor camps. And he was a huge cheerleader and champion for us, shifting from, just the worship and prayer stuff to advocacy, to rescuing kids, and so we're going to honor him. And if you're on here and you want to sponsor a child, please do that in his legacy, in his honor. You can go to lightacandle.global. We got kids on the waiting list, and we would love for you to be a part of that. It's a worship, prayer, advocacy movement there in India that is just amazing. We're in the middle of building a 3-story building down there in India, and it's beautiful what God's doing. But I want to honor his legacy tonight. So we have loss. Obviously, we have these crazy riots that have just taken over It's just like gone viral across America and the world. Everybody, people have just been calling me left and right today from across America, because what happens, like, so goes California, for better or for worse, so goes America. And so now these riots have actually broken out in other cities across America, and there's a big culmination coming this weekend. If you're not aware, June 14th, they're calling it No King, I think No King Day. Walmart founders are behind it. Soros is behind it. All these people are behind it. And it is a massive siege upon America. It is agitators, protesters, violence. I mean, the crazy things they're calling for, guys, right now. It's insane. And it's culminating this weekend. But we were on a rooftop on Friday, last Friday, while this mayhem started, while we were worshiping on a rooftop, guys. I'm dead serious. You can ask anyone that was there. There was ICE helicopters circling around. There was rioting happening in the streets below. And here we were, just worshiping. We were just worshiping. We were just sitting there, just in the midst of the craziness, worshiping God. And it was so wild. And in some ways it was kind of prophetic, you know, to like be there in the midst of this craziness. Like, this is where we're supposed to be, you know, like the battle's inherently spiritual. And so, I've been getting calls from pastors and leaders across America today. Like, what do we do? How do we mobilize? And so this is my declaration today. How do we respond? Well, we respond, in the spirit. You know, we respond. Our battle isn't against flesh and blood. I'm going to read a verse in a minute here, but just going down the list of the things we're called to respond to, in loss, right? In the midst of rioting, in the midst of the insane attack that's happening here in America. This, you know, we have to do something, right? And so we're mobilizing a gathering this Thursday night in LA. And so if you're in Southern California at all, if you're around the area, I want to encourage you to come. We're going to be meeting at the Dream Center. A lot of pastors and leaders are going to be mobilizing. It is going to be very, very powerful, and you don't want to miss it. So we would love for you guys to be there. We would love for you to be a part of it. It's going to start at 8:30. And we are going to worship. We're going to pray. We're going to declare. We're probably going to go maybe beforehand on the streets, and it's going to be powerful. And so we would love for you guys to be there and join us. It's going to be awesome, and it's going to be our response. And then this Saturday, the 14th, I'm actually going to be in Spokane, and this kind of ties into what I'm about to go into. But in Spokane, that, you know, there's obviously a massive Pride festival, and, you know, we made the declaration that June is Life Month. It's like that this is our war right here, right? June is the month of life. It's not violence. It's not pride. It's not perversion. It's not mayhem. June is the month of life. And so we are going to be hosting a gathering with our friends, hosting a Jesus Fest in Spokane, Washington. So if you're in Spokane, or in the Eastern Washington, Northern Idaho area, you definitely need to come. It's going to be powerful. 4 p.m. We're going to worship outside. We're going to feed the hungry. We're going to have a bounce house. We're going to have a slam dunk competition. We're going to love on the community, and we're going to get into the presence of God together. It's going to be so amazing. So I want you guys to make sure you join us, Spokane. Speaking of Spokane, we're in the midst of a lawsuit right now with Spokane, and I'm bringing this up to kind of bridge into these hit piece articles. I can't keep up with all of the hit piece articles that have been coming since 2020. They're just nonstop. And so, and you know, I think initially when a lot of these articles started to come, I would always revert to like responding in my flesh. Like, I need to clear my name, and I need to defend myself, and I need to, you know, and I would try to respond to every comment and try to respond to every article. And it was just like, it was futile. Not only do these people not care about the truth, but these people are bad faith actors, you know, that they just want to tear down. It's the usual suspects. It's always the same guys. It's Christianity Today. It's Julie Roy's. It's all these hack job journalists, you know, that are dead set on trying to expose people. And, you know, sometimes they do expose good stuff, and they hit the nail, but a lot of times they're just fishing around, and they really hate people that are bold. They really hate people that stand. Like, we stood through the pandemic while all of these people attacked us mercilessly. And so in Spokane right now, we're in the midst of a lawsuit, and we're actually winning. Praise God. I really believe we're winning. I believe there's grace on this. We're suing the city of Spokane for, again, coming out and attacking me as a private citizen Christian for mobilizing prayer and worship. And there's some constitutional stuff we're fighting, and so we're in the midst of this big lawsuit. The city, I think, has already spent $300,000 or $500,000 defending what they cannot defend. And so we're in the midst of that lawsuit, and then there's obviously other attacks coming. And I will say this, a big part of not responding to every single attack hit piece is it takes a great deal of discernment and patience from me, because it's not my nature. I want to respond. I want to react. I want to fight back. And I have learned through listening to my board, listening through my lawyers, listening to my spiritual fathers and mothers to be very, very careful and very, and not only not giving credence to falsehoods and accusations, but also understanding there's legal implications. And so there are, just so you know, there are legal implications. Like, we're in the midst of this lawsuit, other people that are trying to dox my family, that are saying defamatory stuff and allegations that are not true. There are legal consequences, and we have the lawyers and we have the stuff, and God has given us the tools, and amazing people are in our corner. We have incredible accountants. We have an incredible board. We have incredible oversight. And so we'll respond to these in the coming days. But I can't say a ton just because of the legal implications of it. But I will say this, you know, when you have embittered, angry, upset former volunteers, these are not staff people. These are not people that were hired. These are volunteers that we had to dismiss because of moral issues. We had to dismiss them. We had to release them. And a lot of them are from 15 years ago, 12 years ago, 10 years ago. A few of them I've only met one time. And a lot of them were prior in the burn movement. When you have this kind of thing happening, it's like, of course, they don't know anything about our organization. They know nothing about our day-to-day. They know nothing about our financial situation. They're just regurgitating what Rolling Stone and all these other hack jobs are saying. And none of those allegations are true. We're in great standing with the IRS. We're in great standing with our accountants. Every single penny that has been raised, that you guys out there have donated, has gone to fulfill its kingdom ordained purpose. And I stand by that. Right here, you can see this is 5 years, the things we've done over the last 5 years. I'm not going to read them to you. You guys know, like, we don't take breaks. We go hard, and we went to 50 state capitals. We got a bus. We got a sound system. We're taking, you know, we got real estate in DC, which is awesome. It's such a blessing. We are taking ground for Jesus, and we're not apologizing for that. So I find myself so much more in the spirit when I resist the urge to fight and resist the urge to get into defamatory conversations with people that know nothing about nothing. And I would encourage a lot of you to do the same thing. You got to realize this is a spiritual battle. We got to stay on mission, especially right now. We got to stay focused on what God has us to. And these attacks, these doxing efforts, these false allegations, these attacks on my family. I mean, think about it. Like, my family, guys, like, addresses of where my kids go to school, like crazy stuff. You know, it's like, thank God that we've been through some stuff since 2020, and we know how to weather this. We know how to press into Jesus. And so we're so grateful for all the support out there. Thank you. Everybody that's out there, we love you. And I understand that there's some people out there that will never satisfy with any answers. And you know what? God bless you too. And we're going to keep doing what God has called us to do. I love my wife. I love my family. And I love what I get to do in ministry. And it's unfortunate that there's former employees that want to mount this smear campaign to attack me. And you know what? God bless them. But we know that the plans of the enemy and the purposes of division and chaos, they're not going to succeed. And so we are going to go forward with hope, with joy. We're going to mobilize people this weekend. I'm calling all of our burn communities around the world. Guys, we need to mobilize prayer and worship right now. We need to mobilize people to pray. We need to mobilize people to stand on the wall. I'm telling you, this violent attack on LA, this chaos, this confusion, like it's not even an immigration issue, like despite what you may think. This is a total demonic spirit of chaos. I saw it in 2020. I saw it in 2020. I saw it again in 2021. I saw it with the BLM, with the anarchists, with the lockdowns, with Antifa. It is the same spirit, guys. Maybe it's changed names or changed flags. I don't know, but it is the same exact spirit. And I want to encourage you. It is time for us to rise up. So all over America, as they're mounting this June 14th, assault on our cities, I want to call the intercessors and the worshipers to rise up. This is the time we need to rise up. And I'm calling for all my friends in the burn communities and the Let Us Worship movements around the world. We're going to do it in LA. And I would love for you guys to be with us online, in your cities, in person, if you can make it. We would love for you to be there. It's going to be powerful. Again, the seasons of loss and the seasons of heartache and the seasons of defamatory allegations, these are all nothing new. We've endured this stuff before, and we are not disheartened or discouraged one bit. In fact, if anything, it strengthens our resolve to keep fighting. Do you see it in my eyes? Do I look disheartened? Do I look discouraged? No, I am a man on a mission, baby, and we are not going to stop. And so I want to encourage you guys, and I'm going to have more talks. We're going to go through more stuff. I'm going to really exciting. I mean, this opportunity to share more specifics about the things that we're doing and even financially the things that we're doing. Like I welcome those conversations because, man, God has called us to do big things, and we're not going to apologize for that. It takes a lot of money and a lot of effort and a lot of people to make this stuff happen, to turn the tide of history. And so we would love for you guys, I'm going to have another call on Thursday. We're going to have more explanations, we're going to lay out the vision of what God's called us to do, what we've already done this year. We had 17 cities on our hit list for 2025, and I think we've already gone to like 20 something. So it's just past half of the year, and we've already doubled what we said we were going to do, what we fundraised for. Like, we've already doubled what we said we were going to fundraise for. We always and forever do more than we say we're going to do. When we tell our donors or our people that are with us, hey, this is what God's put on our heart. We said 50 capitals. Yeah, we did 50 capitals, right? Which is like a $5-6 million endeavor. We didn't just do 50 capitals. We did 50 capitals and then plus like 20 more cities or 30 more cities on top of that. Like, we always do more. We always ask God, Lord, if you can increase the vision, if you can give us a greater capacity, then Lord, we're going to do it, because I'm so motivated. I think about, that pastor. I think about Pastor Sam and how he just gave his life for the gospel and how he gave everything he had. I mean, he literally graduated to eternity in the middle of a worship school. Like, it's insane to think about that. Like, just pouring everything out. Like, this is what we want to do. This is what we're called to do. And so I want to read this to you, and then I want to invite you. Listen, if you're not on our list for upcoming events, like if you didn't know about LA or Spokane or maybe any of the upcoming things that we're doing, we're going to Canada, baby. We are so pumped about Canada. Just for a minute, our bus and our truck and our sound system and all our gear right now is in Canada. We made it in, baby. We made it through customs. And so it's sitting inside of Canada right now. And we are so excited next month to launch this 11-city Let Us Worship revival tour across Canada. It is going to be unbelievable. And I do not want you guys, if you're in Canada at all, you have to come. It's going to be incredible. 11 cities, every time zone from coast to coast. And it starts the end of July. We're so excited. We're going to publish all the dates and all the details soon. But let me read this to you. This comes out of Ephesians 5. Just as a reminder, I know that you guys are probably good Bible people. You know this verse, but just for seasons like this of loss, of unsettling, of rioting, of confusion, of allegations, of slander, of lawsuits, of all this stuff, right? This is no different than the book of Acts. It's so important to remember this. And when we were in Boston Common on June 1, and we declared in Boston Common, this was just last week or the week before, whenever, June 1, and we declared there on the same real estate that George Whitfield preached his farewell sermon. When we preached from there, and we said, June is life month, we said this, God is reversing reversing the perversion and the attacks and the darkness, and he's rolling it back. I knew immediately there was going to be massive spiritual warfare. And this is when like everything started to go crazy. This is when the next week, we're in LA, the riots happen, all of these hit articles, all these different things, the loss of our brother in India, like just on and on and on and on and on. And it's like in the midst of this, we got to remember the Ephesians 6 reality. Verse 10, finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's scheme. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against rulers and against authorities, against powers. This is so important to remember because, you feel like sometimes, even I felt like, you just want to like, and you see pictures of different people and the disloyalty and the stabbing in the back and all this stuff and all the false stuff. And it's like, no. Our fight is not against people. It's against powers and principalities. It's the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. God comes to bring life. Therefore, put on the full armor of God so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you've done everything, stand. Stand firm then with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. And pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always on praying for all of God's people. So I think this is a real key, like praying in the Spirit. I want to encourage you guys. We just celebrated Pentecost, the outpouring of the Holy Spirit. I was preaching in Colorado. We went to the state capitol on Sunday. That wasn't even in the plan, guys. Like that wasn't even in our like fundraising, brochure. That was just an extra thing that we added on. We need to go to the state capitol and stand against this evil bill. So we did. And it's like in these seasons where God sends you into these places, like you have to be alert and you have to be speaking. You have to be praying in tongues. You have to be interceding. You have to be in the Spirit, man. You got to stop doom scrolling on your phone. Get out of the doom scrolling mode and get in the Spirit. So I just want to encourage you guys. I want to bless you. I want to thank you. There's going to be a lot more coming, but I would love to see you if you're in LA. It would be awesome. We would love to have you there, and we would love to see you. It's going to be so powerful, such an amazing time together. This Thursday night at the Dream Center at 8:30. For those of you that know the history, we were at the Dream Center when the LA fires broke out. We mobilized tons of money, tons of aid, tons of help, tons of worship. Yes, we did it. We did several outreaches. We did it again at Fearless Church, and I did it again with Scott Turner as we walked through the Palisades fire. I mean, guys, if there's one ministry that you want to get behind that's actually doing stuff, I'm telling you, God has us on assignment, and we are doing the things he's called us to do. And we are accountable, we are submitted, and we are so grateful that God keeps pouring the oil and the resources for us to do what he's called us to do. And so pray for the lawsuit in Spokane. That's a really big one, really for the future of America. And what the lawsuit is going to do is the lawsuit will ensure that the city council members and the mayor and whoever over the city cannot use their platform in an official way to target and attack Christians. That's the purpose of the lawsuit. You can go Google it, read up on it. Sean Foyt versus Spokane, the city of Spokane. That's the lawsuit. You can Google it and find out information. It's going to be powerful. I really feel like there's a time to fight back, and that's one of them. And there's probably another one coming too in response to all the other stuff, but I can't talk too much about that. But those that are regurgitating falsehoods and defamatory stuff, I hope they got to be ready, because we got a team, and our team is really good, and they're men and women that are filled with the fear of the Lord. So bless you guys. I hope this encourages you. Please share this. Share this out there with anybody about any of these things. Obviously, I want to just recap, honoring the loss of Pastor Sam and his family and the crew in India. Encouraging everybody this weekend to mobilize worship and prayer on June 14th. I'll be in Spokane, and I hope wherever you are that you're mobilizing it. The LA riots, obviously, we're praying for an end to these. We're going to be gathering on Thursday night. And obviously the lawsuit, the allegations, all that stuff, I went into that. I won't regurgitate it, but you can share this. I hope this brings some clarity. I hope it brings encouragement. And I would love for you guys, if you're not on our intercessor list, please text REVIVE to 20221. Again, text the word REVIVE to 20221. And I just wanted to say this last thing. Do not war in the flesh. Do not respond in the flesh. This is something that I have learned, and I'm not perfect at it. I'm actually trying to get better. But it's so important for us to be in the spirit. And we got to understand this is a spiritual war, and our weapons are not fleshly. And, you know, when things happen and horrible situations happen and accusations and different things, like, we cannot just respond, you know, like everything inside of us wants to do that. And I've been guilty of that. No. We have to respond in a spiritual way. We have to respond as people that are under authority, as people that are covered, as people that have amazing team around them. That's how we need to respond. And that's how I'm committed to responding. And I have a great wife too. And she keeps me dialed. She is a woman of God. So bless you guys. We're praying. This is going to be a really, really powerful, weekend. And I just want to say, you know, this summer is going to be intense. I told my wife, I feel some of the things that I felt in 2020 and 2021, I feel that in the spirit. I really do. And so part of this armor of God thing is I just want to encourage those of you out there, like, you need to suit up. You need to suit up in the armor of God. And you need to be ready for any attacks that the enemy would have against you, your family, your community, your city. And we need to stay praying in the spirit above everything else. So bless you guys. Love you. Thank you again for all your support and your encouragement. And you can see from my face and from my eyes that I love Jesus, and I'm full of hope and joy at the days to come.